What's up, guys? I'm NOOB-Genesis, NOOB-Genius, NOOB-Generous, NOOB-Genesis, and a whole lot of what the fuck, go back to school and learn to read. But this is also from Sniping Noob to Sniping Pro, and today I've got a bit more of a topic that I think kind of appeals to a lot of you if you're actually watching my channel. And that is how to become a YouTube sniper. Now, while I'm not the biggest channel in the world, as I've mentioned many times, I still have a pretty logical mind, and I do look at these things very in-depth. I'm a very metagaming type of person, and I like to figure things out and how to do the best thing possible. So this is honestly more one of those videos of do as I say, not as I do. Because honestly, I'm a pretty bad example. But who the fuck cares? I'm pretty sure you can take some of these tips for yourself and twist them however you want to. But the first things first is how to become a YouTube sniper in the first place. And the first so-called tip that you will obviously know, and you would have heard a million times: practice, practice, practice. It doesn't matter how many times people will say it, it is always the most important thing in the world. Practice, practice, practice. You can't get anywhere sniping just by randomly picking it up and just all of a sudden you just start hitting feeds. It doesn't work like that. You just got to keep practicing. And as I said in my pistols versus no pistols video, I recommend not using a pistol, especially if you're starting out, because you need to learn to get those quick scopes at the when you're very close to people. Otherwise, you're going to start struggling a bit more and you're going to rely too much on your pistol. And it's always good to start from the start without using it, in my opinion. Then once you've got that obvious tip out of the way, the next thing you need to decide is, are you going to be a gameplay sniper, a clip sniper, or a feeding sniper, or montage sniper, however you want to put it, or both? Personally, I was going to do both. I still haven't posted my montage. Honestly, I'll get into that in a minute. I'll get into that at the end of the video. But you got to decide which one you want, or you can do both, but generally you can have an emphasis on one or the other. Personally, I recommend going for gameplay, but having, both of them, but more of an emphasis on gameplay, because gameplay, it's a lot easier to keep a very consistent basis. But again, that's completely up to you and how you play. And from that, the next tip is, purposely try and make your channel around that. If you are doing gameplay, make sure you are doing anything to get your gameplays. Or if that's just what you're focusing on, put all the emphasis onto it. You'll be able to just be so much better at that one thing rather than be half-assed at both. So if that means putting on a pistol just so you get 80 plus gameplays with a sniper and a pistol, then do that. Whatever works for you, just do it if you're going for the gameplays. If you're going for feeding, if you're in a party, like I said in my pistols video, you can use a pistol, but I don't recommend it when feeding personally. Either way, figure out what you want your channel to be about when it comes to sniping and stick to it. However, I can say that right now, and you really do more learn what type of person you are as you are doing YouTube. But if you have a good grasp in the first place, it can really help. Once you have decided and you are going with gameplay or emphasis on gameplay, one of the first things I recommend is definitely use variety. No one wants to see the same DSR gameplay with the same attachments over and over and over. It gets really boring, just like all the pub stumping videos with PDW over and over. Everyone got bored of that, and now pub stumpers are doing all sorts of other things. So keep that in mind. If you want to do montages, on the other hand, one of the most important things, and I cannot stress this enough, especially in Black Ops 2, learn every single spawn on the map. In Black Ops 2 especially, it is mostly about spawn trapping. Because the guns are so slow, you're not going to get that many opportunities to shoot 4 people on the run just randomly. Most of the time, you're going to get 1 or 2 people in the middle of the map or somewhere in between the middle and the spawns, and then you're going to turn to a spawn point and pick off 2 more. So learning where the enemy is going to spawn is highly important. Of course, I've already said it before, the other tip for this is try not to use your pistol as much, because you can't really get a clip if you're using your pistol instead. The other thing is exactly the same as gameplays. Variety is the spice of life. That was my last video, and I'm sticking to it. Use different attachments in your clips. Use different maps in your clips. Don't keep on going straight for the spawn points. That's one thing that really shits me when I see parties of snipers. They all just pull out their pistol until they get to a spawn point and they just stare it down. Everyone's seen the spawn point sniping constantly. And I'm talking like spawn trapping where You don't even get 1 or 2 kills in the middle of the map and then turn to a spawn point and pick them up, last ones up. I'm talking you just stand there and wait for people to come at you. It gets really, really boring to watch. By the end of MW3, if I saw yet another resistance sniping feed where they're head glitching behind that fucking pot plant, I was gonna fucking shoot myself. Jesus Christ, how did they not get the hint that it had been done a billion times? Now once you've done all that and you've decided what type of sniper you're going to be and you've gotten a lot of practice and you think you can do it, that's when I recommend getting a capture card. You can't do it with just getting your mates to record for you the whole time. You can do it a bit, but you can't expect it consistently, and it gets a little difficult for people because you can't transfer clips that easily. Maybe you can, but it's still worth getting your own capture card, even if it's a cheap one at first. And now we get into the parts where it's do as I say, not as I do, because a lot of these parts I can really learn to do a bit more. But they're so damn frustrating. And the first one, of course, is you have to make the effort to put the time into it. This doesn't just, like, as much as it may seem like a fun thing, there are going to be times when you're pissed off at the game and you have to force yourself to play. This may not be the case for everyone, but it will surprise a lot of people when it comes to it, because it does happen. And if you don't heed this warning, you'll probably end up like me, struggling to play the game, and it ends up making people think you can't hit clips, or you're just making up excuses half the time. And that can get a little annoying at times. But to be honest, it's probably one of the most important things to continue being a YouTube sniper. You have to put the time in, and I can't stress it enough. I know I've said that a few times, but a lot of these points are pretty important, and this is one of them. Honestly, if I was to play as frequently as I was when the game first came out, when I was still red gunning and trying to rank up, like when this game, at the very first day it came out, I was ranked, for the first 3 days, I was ranked in the top 100 in the world because I was playing it that much, because I was just grinding the shit out of it. And if I had played that much while sniping, holy crap, would I have a lot of feeds. Today was probably the longest time I have played COD in a row, or not even in a row, in just one day, for about 1 to 3 months now. And that was only about 5 hours. And in that 5 hours I hit multiple split clips and a solid quad feed. Hell, I even got this gameplay during lag, and it has a split clip in it itself. Almost 2 even. So it really is a matter of putting in the time to play, because you will hit clips. As much as you may have dry spells or whatnot, you will hit clips if you just keep playing. In my opinion, and you probably ask others who play with me frequently whenever I am playing, if I was to play about 8 hours every day, I would guaranteed get at least 1 quad feed a day or 1 solid clip a day, without question. But I don't put the time in, and because of that my channel suffers, my montages suffer. All of that suffers because I plain and simple just don't play the game. And it is really a drain, and I don't even play that many, I don't even get many gameplays anymore because I'm just not playing. Plain and simple. Another good example of this is when I started out, or when I had about 50 subs, I was literally going up between 4 to 7 subs a day. And that is huge, considering that is pretty much 10% of my subs, plus 10% to 15% of my subscribers at the time was how much I was gaining every single day. And the reason for this is I had my YouTube tag on, and I was playing so long, and I'd be dominating in lobbies with a sniper rifle, and people would be like, oh, man, you were pretty good, I'll check out your sniper channel. And because I'm not playing, I can't have that happening either. So again, you really need to keep playing the game. It helps in so many different ways. The next thing, and probably the final thing for this video, because I think I'm running out of gameplay, is persistence. And again, this is also very important, because without persistence, you're probably going to quit and give up YouTube. And I'm not even kidding. There are times where you won't be gaining as many subs, you won't be getting as many likes or comments, or you might not even be getting gameplays and whatnot, and you'll just start feeling down about your channel and you start doubting yourself. You have to ignore that and keep pushing forward, no matter what. If you want to do your YouTube channel, you're going to have down moments, and you've got to get past them. It's just like that. There's nothing else to say on it. You just have to get past them. Shit happens. but it will pick up again if you keep trying. But anyway, guys, I didn't quite get to cover everything that I wanted to, but coming to the end of the gameplay, I ended up going 55 and 21, I'm pretty sure, with the Iron Sight Ballista. Again, I got this gameplay today, and I'm sorry about the lag, but what you gonna do? Shit happens. Anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed, and have fun.